We have all heard the name of Dajjal. In Hollywood movies and many photos that are published in the cyberspace, a frightening one-eyed giant is depicted that dominates humans. It is not unlikely that the superpowers will take help from the evil force of Dajjal to dominate the world, especially the Third World, or at least introduce themselves as an attachment to an ulterior force to scare public opinion. Of course, true Muslims believe in the multilateral power of God, and observe His superior hand in all matters. But who is Dajjal, who is mentioned in different religions as the cause of devilry in the world? Is he really human? Or a technology? Or even a devil? Or something else whose quiddity is unknown to us? If it is a human, according to the news that has reached us, does it have one eye? What are the features of the Dajjal's eye? Please stay with us until the end of this video. Hello there, lovely friends. I hope you're doing well. Please subscribe to our channel before watching this video, and click the bell button to be notified of new videos. Please like and share this video to show your support. Throughout history, many prophets have warned about the appearance of Dajjal, and informed their followers about the necessity of knowing Dajjal. In a famous narration, it's narrated from the prophet that every prophet, after Noah warned his followers against the seduction of Dajjal, I also warn you. In Shiite and Sunnite narrative communities, there are narrations about seditions, and events of the end of the world. One of the topics discussed in these narrations is Dajjal, which some scholars consider it as a sign of the end of the world, and others consider it as a sign of the appearance of the weighted Imam. In Sunnite narrative societies, there are more narrations about Dajjal than in Shiite narrative societies. These narrations discuss various matters about Dajjal, and there are disagreements in most of them. In the Shiite narrations, there is no mention of any other features of the Dajjal, except for the eye, but in the Sunnite traditions, some introduce the physical and appearance features of the Dajjal, such as height, size, hair, etc. There are two types of narrations in Shiite narrations. One category is the definite signs before the appearance of weighted Imam, and the other is the uncertain signs of the appearance. According to these narrations, the egress of Dajjal is one of the certain signs of the appearance of weighted Imam. Dajjal in Arabic means water of gold, and to cover with gold, and that's why liars who pretend falsehood to be truth are called Dajjal. Dajjal is mentioned in the teachings of all three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And Dajjal is an oppressive who will mislead people in the end of the world. People in all three religious communities say, Dajjal is born and alive. According to the traditions narrated by the Christians, the Dajjal is chained in one of the West Islands, so that he will appear when the time is right. Also, in the Bible, the one who denies Christ is called Dajjal. There are several possibilities about Dajjal. The first possibility is that Dajjal is not the name of a specific person, and anyone who tries to deceive people with absurd and baseless pretense and by resorting to trickery is Dajjal. The second possibility is that a specific person named Dajjal will come out before the appearance of the Imam, with the same features as stated in the narrations, and misleads people. Of course, some people believe that he is alive, citing to some traditions. Some have also raised the possibility that what is meant by Dajjal is the same Sufyan, who is mostly mentioned as Dajjal in Sunnite books, and as Sufyan in Shiite books. Of course, this possibility seems rejected. There is a fourth possibility that Dajjal is a metaphor to global disbelief and the domination of material culture over the world. Arrogance in an actual sense is the Dajjal, who considers himself the guardian of the nations, and by relying on massive wealth and great power, interferences everywhere on earth and brings everyone under his rule. Some sources of Shiite imitation believe that Dajjal is not a person, but a deviant current that exists at all times. According to Shiite traditions, the appearance of Dajjal is one of the signs of the emergence of the 12th Imam of the Shiites, and he appears during times of hardship and famine, deceives people and draws them to himself. The Shiite narrative books do not mention the appearance of Dajjal in seditions before his appearance, and based on two types of traditions, they only talked about the killing of Dajjal by the weighted Imam or Jesus. In Sunnite sources, it is mainly about the killing of Dajjal by Jesus. In some narrations, the place where Dajjal came out is Isfahan or Khorasan. Some narrations also believe that Dajjal appears in Iraq or Syria. According to Islamic traditions, that most of them, narrated by Sunnite narrators, Dajjal first claims to be a prophet, and then claims to be God and shouts, "My servants, I am your great and exalted Lord," and causes bloodshed and sedition in the world. Dajjal shows people the mountain of bread by bewitching people in front of him. And behind him, he shows a white mountain, which people think is flowing water. One of the signs of Dajjal that is mentioned, in some narrations, is that he is accompanied by a fast white donkey, whose every step is 1 mile and it crosses the earth quickly. They say that a song can be heard from every hair of the Dajjal's donkey, and those songs attract people who are weak in faith and do not abstain. There is no narration about this in the books of Shiite scholars, and Sunnites have narrated a narration about Dajjal's donkey. In many narrations, Dajjal is mentioned as Jesus, although he is a pretended Jesus, because Dajjal makes blind people see by anointing their faces with the help of demons. Dajjal travels everywhere on earth very quickly, and the only places he cannot enter are Mecca and Medina. It's said that with the appearance of Dajjal, interesting events will happen in the world. Dajjal sinks into the seas and the sun moves with him. Or, when he appears, people are suffering from famine and lack of food. In the narrations, which are mostly found in Sunnite sources, various and strange attributes are mentioned in his description, which are not unlike symbolic interpretations, hints and metaphors, among them, claiming to be God, long life of Dajjal, carrying water and fire, making the blind see, and curing leprosy.
At a time when famine, drought, war and despair are widespread in the world, weak-minded people are attracted to Dajjal and form his armies. It is said that at that time, Dajjal goes to a man and says, "If I resurrect your parents who have been dead for years, will you believe that I am God?" That man does not pay attention to Dajjal. Of course, Dajjal does these strange things with the help of demons, which means that this revival is also a lie and magic. In the eyes of that man, Dajjal brings his parents back to life. That poor man, by seeing this scene, believes in Dajjal and goes astray. From the sum of Shiite and Sunnite traditions, it determined that Dajjal has a strange appearance, young, red-faced, short, with a huge body and a big belly, with curly hair and a long forehead, with the word blasphemy clearly written on his forehead. It is possible that this word impious means an irony about the clarity of disbelief in the face of Dajjal. Even though at first glance, the narrations of Dajjal's eye have different, and sometimes contradictory types, but with meticulous attention and scrutiny of the content of these narrations, it is possible to combine them. Accordingly, Dajjal has 2 eyes and his left eye is completely blind, but his right eye is sort of blind and convex like a grape seed, and with features such as shining and stained with blood, as well as in spine and pterygium in his eye. The end of the world is an age when the evil flaunts reach their peak. According to narrative sources, the subject of Dajjal is one of those mysterious satanic movements. In any case, in a narration of the Holy Prophet, the Dajjal is interpreted as the most evil thing, that is, the Dajjal is the most evil and worst absentee whose egress is expected, or the Dajjal is the worst and most filthiest trouble that comes to humans. So, the basis of Dajjal's existence is accepted, but it is not possible to reach a definite and correct opinion about what and who he is. Sayyid Muhammad Sadr believes, Dajjal is a symbol of the peak of Western civilization and technology, which is in conflict with Islam and its foundations. And today, it is clearly obvious that the oppressive Western governments are using new tools such as Hollywood movies, news sites and networks, illicit entertainment and entertainment devices, to dominate Muslims and destroy Mahdism thinking, or the thinking of weighted Imam. However, what cannot be doubted is that, when the conditions for the revolution are provided, in any society, there are deceitful people who are actually guards of corrupt and worn-out systems to maintain the status quo, and take advantage of mental and social fields of the people. For the benefit of their false goals, they engage in deception and trickery. These are the Dajjals that all the prophets warned their people against and warned against their deceptive plans. Dajjal's sedition is big, terrible, complicated and very misleading, so to be safe from it, one should take refuge in God and by appealing to the weighted Imam, who is the only way to escape from the clutches of Dajjal and Antichrists, to traverse the path of prosperity and happiness.
Thank you for watching this video all up to the end. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to receive notifications of new videos, by clicking the subscribe button and the bell next to it.